Hey, what's going on, everybody? Max here with BB, and today for 10 minutes max, we're going to be talking about Kaspa and mid-cap alts, as in my opinion, we are on the brink or the cusp of a monster alt season for some of the smaller cap or middle cap alts that haven't gotten so much love and attention recently, but I think that's about to change. Guys, before we dive in, just a quick reminder, these are 10-minute daily videos brought to you by me and BB, where we deliver you all of your alpha in under 10 minutes, hence the name 10 minutes max. And last but not least, before we dive into the charts, guys, do me a solid. Please like the video and also subscribe to the channel if you are new. Again, we're so appreciative of your guys' support. We're also trying out a new little layout here with a bigger me in the upper corner. So hopefully this looks okay for you guys. We're going to give it a try today. But guys, I think that Kaspa is getting ready to perk up here in a big way. First things first, let's zoom out here. All right. And I kind of got this inspiration from my teammate and my friend Jackus. He was more or less comparing Kaspa here to very early stages of the Wall Street cheat sheet, like very early, parabola. And I happen to agree with them, right? I happen to agree with them. If you just look at this in the simplest of forms, right? And like low, low, higher, low, higher, low, higher, low, higher, low. And eventually you're gonna start to get really aggressive here. You're gonna start to get quite aggressive and just start marking up. And I think now is the perfect time for that, as Bitcoin is really just beginning to get above its previous all-time high, with conviction and receive what I would consider to be called maybe acceptance above it. Where before we kind of just swept it. Now, what I actually, really wanted to talk with you guys about, and you guys have already seen, a lot of comparisons to, we'll flash back to this right now. So we're going to take a look back at the ADA comparison. So look at the price action that happens to mid-cap altcoins as Bitcoin makes its ascent up into a new all-time high. But what happens after Bitcoin goes on to make a clear new all-time high? Well, Bitcoin was climbing up to make a new all-time high. You can see ADA was aggressive, just chopping, bleeding, dancing around. And Kaspa, again, from this blue circle, right where we took the ADA one, which is when we kind of had like our local distribution, most of it happened in here. Yes, we kind of did climb up, right? But when did ADA really perform? That's what we want to know. Like, when did the blue chip alts of last cycle really perform? It performed once Bitcoin got above its all-time high. Then things just went crazy. All right, so now that we've established what typically happens when, Kaspa or mid-cap altcoins to be specific, but my hunch is Kaspa will be a major beneficiary of this. What happens to mid-cap altcoins when there's turbulence under the all-time high, we kind of just, chop and range and alts bleed, but then they play a major game of pickup. What I'm very interested in, comparing here is Kaspa to others. All right, so let's take a look at this. What is this chart? Kaspa denominated in others. And I'll put this up top just so nobody forgets it. All right. Kaspa others, and I will make it in giant font. Now, what is this again? I said it a couple times. So obviously, you know what Kaspa is. Others is basically the entire crypto asset class minus the top 10 cryptos by market cap, which does include some stable coins. Okay. So what this does, guys, is this basically shows you Kaspa paired against all the other middle management alts. And you guys maybe remember that reference from a previous video. It's not a slight, it's a compliment. Just meaning Kaspa has to work its way up through the ranks. It can't just be, propped up to the number one spot just because we all love it. Here, let me see there. Okay, that looks good. So what am I expecting here? Well, let's actually remove these. All right, let's remove these and we'll do them fresh. I thought I wanted to keep them on here, but I want to just show a blank chart. Okay, here we are in linear mode. In my opinion, all of this was kind of just like pre-accumulation. All right, this was just Kaspa coming to the market, and it wasn't really like well known yet. I mean, it seemed like it was maybe for some of you guys, but the masses didn't really know about it. But there was some early accumulation. So let me take one step back here. what does this chart actually mean, right? So this is Kaspa paired against the top 10 or the rest of the crypto market class except for the top 10. So when this chart is moving up like this, all right, that means that Kaspa is a better hold, relatively speaking, than the rest of the altcoins, excluding again the top 10. All right, which is what we want to see, right? Why would you hold, something in the top 10 when you can just get exposure to, the basket through multiple different vehicles or strategies? Why would you concentrate a bet in an altcoin that's within the others, not the top 10, if it's not going to trend up, right? But when it's trending down, it's underperforming the basket. Okay. So, what do I see right now, guys? What do I see right now? In my opinion, this is like mega demand right here. All right. This is your mega, mega, mega demand. All right. We spent a while, kind of chopping, reaccumulating, even just like right here. Okay. This region is your mega demand. All right. I would expect this region to hold. Maybe a deviation. We allow for deviations, but at worst, I would want to see this. At worst. Okay. So Kaspa USD looks really good. I showed the parabola. We'll see if we have some time. We can do some lower time frame stuff. But at worst, I would expect to see this. Okay. And then we kind of come up, test this trend line, and then ultimately, if Kaspa is going to be a top 10 project, it's going to have to do something like this against others. Okay. There's no other way around it. It has to perform against its constituents, okay, against its competition. So let's throw this up as well, guys. Now here is the others chart, okay? I'm expecting others, which is again the basket of altcoins minus the top 10. I'm expecting the 1.618 to get tagged up here. I'll make this font a little bit bigger so you guys can see it. I'm expecting at least a 400% move from here roughly. Okay. Now here's an additional look at Kaspa USD down here. All right. We've been watching this for a long time. First major swing high to first major swing low. We broke out of the range. We held the 1.618 for a long time. We blasted off of it, pulled back into reaccumulation. I would expect at minimum Kaspa to go 800% from here to the 3.618. I really would. I would. And I know a lot of you probably think that that's bearish, and I'm happy for it to overshoot. I mean, I would be thrilled, right? I'd be thrilled. I'm just showing you the fibs. These fibs can get sliced through. No question about it. They can get sliced through. It's no problem. But what does this mean for the Kaspa others chart now? Let's really think about this. And I had it drawn before, so you got a little bit of a spoiler alert. But if I'm expecting Kaspa to go up 800% and others to go up 400%, that would mean that Kaspa paired against others has to go up 2 times as much. All right. So that would mean from here, we need to see Kaspa others go up at least 200%. Okay. In order for us to hit the 3.618 on the Kaspa USD chart, which is the bottom right. And then the others chart has to go up, to the 1.618, which is 400%. Okay. So I did have a fib drawn. There's a few different ways to draw it, but would you look at that, right? From our low, from our first, swing high on the Kaspa others pair, swing high to swing low. Very interesting to see that the 1.618 on this pair as well is perfectly confluent with Kaspa USD going to the 3.618, 800%. And that would require, of course, others to go up to the 1.618, which is 400%. So again, we can time this out differently, right? Like others can go up first and then pull back, and then Kaspa can go up after, and then it well exceeds the 3. I mean, there's a million different combinations, right? They're not gonna, we're not gonna tag the 3.618 right when others tags the 1.618, guys. It's just not gonna happen. I hope it does, but it's unlikely. But either way, guys, Kaspa USD, in my opinion, looks ready to go here. And just a real quick lower time frame look at this. Reflexivity is a very real thing, right? So first of all, we mark up. This was a big inefficiency right here, like a really thin move. We held, We held support really nicely, right here. Beautiful, beautiful hold. But we came back and we filled in this inefficiency, or at least like half of it, which is typically what you see. Okay. But what happens is the harder we dip or we nuke or we correct, the harder we snap back. Okay. So think of it as like a rubber band, like if you just kind of go like this, then you're just going to kind of bounce back like that. Right. But if you nuke, you're going to snap back even harder. Right. Like if you look at what happened, during the March capitulation, March 2020 for Bitcoin, I mean, you can see how hard we snap back. When you drop like this, the snapback is even harder. So what am I expecting here? Let's get creative with it on the lower time frames, right? I just explained, kind of the pair trade, but from a reflexivity standpoint, I'm expecting this since we dropped to snap back at least twice as hard. I mean, seriously, it's gonna go like this, in my opinion, because we overcorrected so quickly, so aggressively, and there was, in my opinion, from a sentiment perspective, there was an emotional capitulation down here. But by the way, when Jim and I did our video together, we talked about this level. We talked about coming into this level. I thought we'd only go to 12 and a half cents. We went to 11 and a half, but we told you this was coming. All right. But study reflexivity, study Kaspa paired against others. And yeah, guys, it looks really good in my opinion. So we went 1 minute over. I can never seem to stick to 10 minutes max. But guys, thanks so much for tuning in. Before you go, please consider liking and subscribing. And if you want to see behind the curtain on how I trade, you get to see all my active positions, premium setups, and analysis that I don't talk about here on YouTube or on X. And that goes for the rest of the Because Bitcoin team as well. We have a really deep, really deep and skilled team. It's not just me. If you want to see behind the curtain and chat with me and the rest of the Because Bitcoin team twice per day and do Q&A, it's for you. So check out the first link in the description below. Additionally, you're going to get free access included in your membership in less than 45 days to the BB terminal. It's basically a Bloomberg terminal, but for crypto guys. It will take your trading to the next level. Basically has everything you need to succeed and find an edge in these markets, and we are including it in your membership. Again, we are constantly working to innovate and improve what we are offering to benefit you guys as well as us. So it's a very symbiotic relationship, and we really care about how you guys do. So again, check out the first link in the description below. Please like and subscribe, and we will see you next time. Take care.